Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Oh my goodness. Welcome back on the speaker show this evening. Oh my God. I am super, super excited for what we have tonight. And I just can't wait for us to get into it because trust me, we are going to learn a lot and we're going to have so much fun this evening. All right. So, permit me to introduce myself. My name is Niniola Fatai, and I'm the host of the Speaker Show. Now, for some of you who are just joining us for the first time, the Speaker Show is a place of inspiration, motivation, where minds are being liberated through reasoning. And what that means is that, we believe very strongly on the Speaker Show that you are created for something special, and we know that you can do that thing by yourself, so you need the right people, right platform, and that is why we have this. And I always say this on the speaker show: if this is your first time there, someone's story can be a life changing for you. So I want you to come prepared tonight. I want you to come and relax. Let's learn together. Do you understand? So we all can get to that place that we want to be. All right. So, without being said, oh my goodness. So, like you guys know, once again, to apologize for last week. And then today, I know we're going to have a great time. And I'm glad that we're able to have our guest right here, a whole prince in our midst tonight. So, I bet we're going to be having a good time with him. All right. So, a little bit about this man. Okay. This man is an amazing man. He's a man of God. He's a father. He's a mentor. He's a leader. He's doing so much great things in the community and around the world. He is someone that people, when you say you can relax and count on someone, he is that person. He is that father figure that many people rely on because of his consistency, because of his hard work, because of his dedication and his love towards the people that he loves. And his friends and family and everyone, even strangers, can testify to the kind of person that he is. All right. So a little bit about him. I'm sure we're going to be getting to know more tonight about him. He's going to be giving us more details, but just a little bit, just a little bit about him. All right. So he's written a couple of books. Back then he started, was so passionate. At the age of 17, he said to himself, like, I have so much talent and I can't let it just go to waste. I got to put something into something to make something out of it. And this is to tell majority of you that you're out there, that you're thinking about what you want to do with your life and you're not sure. He is an example of that. At the age of 17, he wrote his first book. And after then, it's been stories after stories. Excuse me. It's been stories after stories after story. And then we're gonna be hearing from him tonight. So I just want you all, I don't like taking our time when we have guests because I want us to use our time, very well with them. So, all right. So tonight, please, please, please help me welcome the one and only Prince in our midst, Prince Olabanji Bankole. Thank you. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Yeah, good evening. Yes, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me on your show.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. How you feeling? How you feeling? Are you excited?
Yes, of course. I'm excited to talk to my brothers, my sisters. I look to call my people, and I'm, I'm happy to be on your show. I know it
You
has been long time you've been wanting me to come to this show, but the busy time, busy schedules have been preventing me. We're supposed to have it last week, right?
mm-hmm.
We were supposed to
Yes.
have this last week, but I was unable to make it. Thank you for
So
having me here.
you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So trust me, people want to really get to know you. I'm sure there are a lot of people that knows you, just knows you casually. One way or the other, they've seen your face, and they really, really want to get to know you. So I would love it if you can just give us a little bit intro, to really get to know who you really are. Who is Mr. Bankole, Barrister Bankole?
Yeah, well, as far as title is concerned, there's a lot of titles, but like told you before we come to this show, one thing I hate talking about is talking about myself. I like to talk about other people. I like to talk about things, but talking about myself is a little bit. I'm a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's a kind of a character, personal character that I don't talk much about myself. But since you asked me to introduce it to your guests, myself to your guests, I will say, like you said, I'm a crown prince. Let you put the word crown prince. in a small town in Lagos State, and then I'm a Canadian. I'm also a Nigerian. I'm also a permanent resident of the island of Bahamas. So I have those national credentials, I would say. Then, like you said at the beginning of your show, I am a legal practitioner here in Canada. I practice law and majorly immigration and refugee law, and that was it. I am a big believer in God. I'm a leader in my church, my local church, and I have, I would say, five children and two grandchildren, beautiful two grandchildren.
Amazing, amazing. Wow. I'm sure they're gonna be very proud of their grandfather.
Yeah, they are, they are, they are.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
Thanks for sharing that with us.
yeah.
Thanks for
Thank you
sharing that
very
with
much.
us. I would just like to ask you because I know that, like, you talked about that, you're here in Canada and then you practice law and all that. Do you want to tell us a little bit, like, how it got started when you came here? Like, what was it like when you came here? Did you come here like a student or you came here? Like, what was it? And then how did you find your way to actually becoming a lawyer?
Yes, when I came here, that was yearly before the 9/11. That was a long time ago, long time ago. So I came here as a refugee in this country, and I was back home. I was a chartered accountant with master degree in accountancy and business finance. And but when I came here as a refugee. So I started from the scratch,
Hmm.
from the scratch. So it has been working from one small job to one small job to one small job until fate changed everything.
Wow.
Yes, until fate changed everything. When I first came, I worked briefly with about a year with Royal Bank. So after working with Royal Bank, but I wasn't getting exactly what I want to become in Canada. The kind of this Canadian experience things. I couldn't move. You see, somebody with a master degree, I couldn't move on just being a clerk. So I thought I needed more. So Uh, 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 I left Royal Bank. I joined some other company as an accounting officer to start with, which is this auto industry. So, and from there, then fate will have it. I run into immigration issues, and that's when my the life entirely changed. Changed my focus to study law and then become a law practitioner. Yeah, a lawyer.
Wow. Wow. So that means something triggered that.
Yes,
So
a
something
lot of
happened
yes.
that
Something
made,
happened.
that made you thought about, I
Yes,
want to become a lawyer.
yeah.
And first of all, I want to say thank you for sharing that because it's very important because many people come here, many immigrants come to Canada, and as soon as things are not working for them the way they expected, some of them lose hope. Some of them just settle for less. There are a lot of people that comes with master degree, that comes with, with bachelor, honor degree and all that.
Even
And
PhD.
PhD, exactly. And because they didn't get what they want, then they settle for less and then they get a job and they just settle for that job and all that. And the reason why I said thank you was mainly because, the fact that with time and, it's encouraging to the people that they're just coming in that even though you're not at that place yet, even though you're just starting, it's okay, you're gonna get there as far as long you keep your focus, as far as long the faith is gonna have its time. So thank you for sharing, and I think that's very, very important, sincerely speaking, and thank you for sharing that. So if you don't mind me asking, I know it's personal, but it's okay if you don't want to share with us. um I know you mentioned that something happened, with immigration that triggers you being a lawyer. So is there anything like is there anything in that you would like to educate us on? maybe probably for like, encouraging people that, no matter what is going on in your life, no matter obstacles, you can turn it into something positive.
Yes, it's not. It's a public record. If anybody search Bankole versus Canada, it can easily be found. The when my I got the process going for my refugee, right? I got a lawyer. I pay a lawyer. I think at that time $2,000 or something. So we went through the process. Just to cut the story short, I was successful. My refugee process was successful. So I applied for my permanent resident as early as 2003.
Wow.
But between 2003 and 2013, 10 years later, I
Hmm.
wasn't given permanent resident.
Wow.
So it's a lot of, I can't begin to say that in the here. I mean, we don't have the time.
Yes.
But one thing I learned from that was that if you are focused and you are resilient and you love God, you trust God. Don't forget, I have a wife, I have two children back home.
Hmm.
And I couldn't go back home for almost 13 years.
Hmm.
Leaving a wife and children, my children was growing up without me. And in the process, I was going from one lawyer to another. I'm changing lawyers. Within the process of about 1 decade, 10 years, I changed about three lawyers or four lawyers, pay
Hmm.
almost 17,000 in legal fees. So one day, I came back from work after prayer. I just sat down. I said, Lord, what will you have me to do? I trusted, have faith, and that's when the Lord put it on in my spirit that you can do this yourself. Because I was in that process, I was about to start another federal court process.
Hmm.
I said, okay, and I picked my phone. I called the lawyer. The lawyer said I should come up with about $4,000. I don't have 1,000 to pay the guy.
Hmm.
So what I did, I started reading myself because I
Wow.
love reading. Right when I was in secondary school, I read almost all the romance literature books you can think of.
Hmm.
So I'm a good reader. I started reading case law, reading Supreme Court, High Court decisions relating to my case. So I did the case myself without no lawyer. That is what got me my permanent residence.
Wow.
So
Wow.
when I became permanent resident, with Minister of Justice even asking me in a plate bargain that we should settle it amicably, because at that time it has raised to the level of bias. So
Hmm.
when you understand bias in immigration law is a serious offense, it's a
Hmm.
serious stain in immigration system if you can prove bias, which I was able to almost prove. But the Minister of Justice didn't allow me to go that far because they asked me to withdraw the case so that they can process my landing. We call it landing at that time, not PR. Landing. They say landing. It's landed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
after that, I said, okay, you know what? So I just got a role in the University of York. I said, okay, let me read law within 18 months. And I start for my exam, and that's it. So that
Wow.
moment of adversity really
Hmm.
prepare me for the future road I'm playing now, because I said what I went through, people I know, my client will not be able to go through it.
Hmm.
Should go through. Nobody should go through what I went through.
Hmm.
So that gave me motivation to become a practitioner of law and then to help people with my experience. And I
Wow.
have a lot of experience.
Wow.
A
Wow.
lot. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's very deep. Thank you for sharing that.
So
The
I
way.
left from being an accountant
Mhm.
to be a practitioner of law. So
Wow.
it's a big shift.
Wow. 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 I really like that a lot. I really like that a lot because it kind of speaks to us that, you know, no matter the challenges, no matter the hard time, you can always turn it around
Of
and make it
course.
work for you. Instead of beating yourself up about it, instead of thinking that's the end of it, instead of quitting, giving up, the way you turn it around, it's a great inspiration to each and every one of us. Like,
Yes.
so thank
And
you.
but the key thing is that to be able to survive that, you
Hmm,
need one thing. You need God on your side,
hmm,
because no flesh, no human understanding can go through that.
hmm.
Because I will tell you, I traveled, it was a long time ago. I traveled with about 8 of my friends. Some went to US, some went to UK, some came to Canada. So about 8 of us. Only my marriage remained.
Wow,
The other 7 lost their family.
wow.
You see, so you need God to be able to survive that kind of separation from your family. It's
Hmm,
almost 14 years of separation. It's
wow.
almost no family can survive that without God.
Hmm, hmm. Wow, wow. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this with us. Thank you. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna get on, and then please, for everyone who is live with us, I will really appreciate it if there's any question that you have. Please, let's bombard him. Let's load him up with questions. He's here to answer our question. It's hard to get hold of him, but once we have him here, let's just bombard him with so much question. So please drop your questions in the comment section if you do have any, and he's gonna be taking them after. All right. So let's get into our topic itself. You see how interesting this is? So, in your journey, and when we actually even look at, the topic itself, like how did you create a space, within your struggle, within your hard time? How did you create a space where, everyone feels seen and value, the way you felt that? Because sometimes, when we go through things, we make it about ourselves. But, you being that person of people. So how did you relate that?
Okay. So what I did was, and this might not work for everybody. So you have to understand, you have to create your own space. So the space I created for myself, or let me use the word platform. The platform I created for myself for service was to be a worker in my local church assembly here in Canada. So I volunteered to be an usher. From usher, I volunteered to be a protocol officer. I volunteered to be a counselor. So there was no, except time to work, go to work. There's no downtime for me.
Mm,
I was busy with God people. I was busy with church programs. In fact, we are one of those, because I joined a church, Christ Embassy. So the Christ Embassy at that time is just starting in Canada. That was early 2000. So we are the first of people that bring Pastor Chris to Canada as a protocol officers. We really get to into working for Christ. So that is what took my worries away, my loneliness, my agitations. So I become, sometimes would be some people would even believe that I was a citizen. The way I carry myself, they thought this guy is a citizen.
mhm,
It is people who are close to me know that I'm struggling to become a permanent resident.
hmm,
You
hmm,
have to be close to me to know that this is the struggle I'm going through, family separation and all that kind of stuff. So you have to you have to join a community where you don't think of yourself, you
hmm,
think of other people, you
hmm.
work for other people.
Wow.
See?
Wow.
So that way, you leave your worry to God while you work for other people, and that way takes out your worry, your depression, your loneliness and stuff like that. Yes.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Now, my next question is this before we go into the audience question. My next question is this. So, what barrier do you see like the future immigrant? Do you see them like they're still facing? Regardless of the things, the services that is available and all that.
Yeah, the barriers has been uh, like like an immigrant. If you come in here, there are two classes of immigrants, right? So when you come to Canada, let's talk about Canada. It's the same thing applied to US, to Europe, and to UK. So, but when you go to a foreign country, you either go there as a temporary resident or you go there as a permanent resident. So, if you are a permanent resident, you have one trouble or you're one consigned to overcome, the question of get to belong, to find your footing, to
Mm,
find maybe job, especially if you're a professional back from where you're coming from. So that's the challenge. But the challenge for temporary resident is you want to you want to try to get a permanent resident status. That is
mhm,
one challenge. The second challenge is to practice what you have become as a professional back home where you're coming from. So you have two challenge of becoming a permanent resident, and then
mhm,
challenge of getting a job, because of especially in Canada is this Canadian experience. Thank God now everything is changing a little bit. There's no longer in Ontario. There's no longer Canadian experience anymore. It has been removed from a job requirement from any employer in Ontario. So, but before then, it was a challenge. And I will tell you a short story. Many years ago, I met a gentleman. This man is a deputy vice chancellor of University of Ibadan. I'm not going to mention his name.
mm.
This guy has three PhD in science subjects, science, deputy vice chancellor. He was in Canada and he was working a care job
Hmm.
at that time. We met. So we rubbed mind. I was shocked. But this guy was so humble to accept where God placed him at that time. But
Hmm.
today, he is the president of a medical school in Aruba.
Wow.
It was the prime minister of Aruba that personally invited him when he saw his resume.
Wow.
So almost 8 years ago, he established a medical school in that country, one of the top medical school in the Caribbean country.
Wow.
So you see, it doesn't matter where you are at a particular moment,
Hmm.
because you have a dream, you have a purpose, and you have God backing you.
Hmm.
Nobody can stop you. No element can stop you.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Wow. Thank you for sharing the man's story. What an inspiring time with you this evening. All right. So now my next question is this. And this has to do with newcomers and immigrants. So how can immigrant lead organization better support for like newcomers that they're just coming in?
I think the best, it depends, because it depends on the need of the immigrants. You see, but most cases, most immigrant community now, the first thing they do to integrate immigrant into Canadian society is to help them, one, probably with accommodation, lodging accommodation, if they have that problem, prepare them for work environment in Canada, and
Mhm.
then prepare them to have a so-called Canadian resume. Because when we came, especially from, I'm talking of my experience as a Nigerian, when we come and you ask for a resume from a Nigerian, they come up with all kind of stuff in their resume, which is, it's not permitted, or it's not encouraged. Let me use the word encourage in the Canadian setting. So this community helped them. And then they also help them with pertinent information like health care, where they assess health care, where they can assess family doctors, even when they are not qualified to have the provincial medical coverage. There are some facilities that's available for immigrants. If they approach those immigrant settlements communities, they can have access to medical without the provincial coverage. So they can assist them with all those kind of services, housing need. They can also assist them, job if, of course, if the issue of if they have a work permit or they are permanent resident coming here as a permanent resident, they can assist them well in job, certain job, and of course assist them also with their place of worship if they are looking for place to worship. So those are the area that immigrant needs to settle them. You see, you are the sense of welcoming or the sense of belonging. It's like they plug you from a familiar ground, then they
Mm-hmm.
dump you into a
A
strange
strange
ground.
land.
Then you are wondering, so how, where do I fit in? How do I fit in? So,
Hmm.
um, and most of those, I would say, communities also can be friends, can be neighbor, can be church,
Hmm.
can be mosques, helping this, as long as you are frontal with your need. Some people don't say anything; they just keep quiet. They are just, be by themselves. You have to go out. You have to speak out. You have to approach, and then you have to talk to the right people. You know.
Yes,
That's,
thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
so I mean, it's the right way to do, because sometimes when we come, we talk to a lot of people. You get all kind of different opinions. Then at the end of the day, you are confused. So where do you go? Which one is which? Which one is true? Which one is working or can be relied upon? So you have to be. It's not something you just talk to Dix and Harry. You choose where you go to.
Hmm.
You have to be deliberate in
Yes.
seeking information, not just talking to everybody.
I really like that advice a lot because I think it's very, very important because just like you said that many people just go to so many people and ask for information,
Information.
and that's how a lot of people miss it
Yeah,
because
they miss it a lot. A lot.
yes. Because once they heard information from the wrong person, and this person is saying this and this person is saying this, and they're not sure which one they want to go. So I think that it is very, very important, just like you said, that they need to step out. I've seen a lot of people, and I always preach this a lot, that you need to get out of your comfort zone. You need to get out because those dreams, those opportunities, those things that you're looking for are not going to come to your door and knock and tell you that, hey, I am here, grab me. They won't do that. So you have
Wow.
to step out and mix with people. But at
Yeah.
the same time, why mixing with people? You gotta make sure you have wisdom so
You're
you
smart
can.
about it, yeah.
Yes, so you can choose rightly. Because if not so, I've seen a lot of people that came here, they're like, oh, go do health. And then you see a lot of people do PSW, you see a lot of people in health. Because why? That's the advice everyone is
That's
giving.
what everybody get. Yeah, you're
So
right.
you
Now,
only
now,
go
let
ahead.
me just add this cliche. I was talking to a client. I'm not going to mention them, of course. I said eh, she got herself into a very, very tight corner. I said, "How do you get here?"
Hmm,
Because she was sobbing.
hmm,
I allowed her to finish sobbing, work, offer a spiritual advice. And then later, when she calmed down, I said, "How do you get here?"
hmm,
She said, "Oh, a friend of mine told me this, and that this what she did." I said, "What? A
hmm.
friend of yours told you this? A friend, or you just know the person?" Say, "A friend of mine." Can you imagine how sometimes our people were wicked to each other
Hmm.
because the information she gave to that my client was purely falsehood,
Hmm.
intended to mislead her.
Wow.
Intended. I found out later
Wow.
to mislead her. So that's why it is very, very important that you get your information from the right source. The
Hmm.
right source. You see, many years ago, like my story, when I retire, probably I'm going to write another book. My last book. You see, I pay, I pay lawyers consultation fees, 350 here, 450 here per hour, 250 here, and I will
Hmm.
talk to three lawyers on one issue.
Hmm.
Three lawyers on one issue. You will be surprised. You will think that as lawyers, they will have single opinion in that single issue. It's not a different issue, just one single issue, right?
Hmm.
So, but you'll be surprised that all of them have divergent opinion,
Hmm.
how to resolve, go about it. All of them, you can't believe that, all of them.
Hmm.
But how I filter it is to now say, okay, among these three, which opinion is closer to what the solution I prefer, I want. I find
Hmm.
out when I find out two, then I go for the one who is ready to collect lesser lesser money. Okay, then I say, okay, you handle this matter. You see, that's how I overcome without any serious legal jeopardy.
Hmm.
You see, because if you make a wrong movement in this country legally,
Hmm.
oh boy, to correct it, one can take you years, then you take you thousands of dollars.
Hmm.
So that is why you have to be careful. You have
Yes.
to be careful.
Yes, yes, yes. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna take question from the audience. So for some of you who are just joining still, please drop your question in the comment section, and we're gonna be taking them not all 100%, but we'll try as much as possible because we still have to come back to me, and then we're gonna have to go on a quick short break. All right, so we're gonna go on a short break, and right after we're back, we're gonna be taking question from the audience, and we're gonna be back to me. So use that time to drop your question, each and every one of you watching us live. If there's anything that resonates with you, or there's anything you want to ask him, drop your question, and we're gonna be right back. All right, all right. So welcome back, each and every one of you. Oh my God. Okay, so let's go to the question section right now. All right. So someone said here that what principle that can make you exceptional person. Okay, so in your career. So I think what the person is asking is what principle can make you exceptional or made you exceptional person in your career.
Yeah, well, to be exceptional is to be on top of your career. So
Absolutely.
one of the principle that for me and is working for me is to work extra time
Hmm.
on my files than my colleagues.
Hmm.
So when you work harder but smarter, you don't put stuff that you need to do today. So tomorrow I will do it. That's what do they call it? Procrastination or something?
Procrastination.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that is one of the things. Avoid procrastination. Do what you need to do today. In fact, it is better to be a little bit ahead of
Mm,
any. If you're an accountant, if you're a lawyer, if you're an engineer, if you're a scientist, whatever you do to be number one, do it like you are the only person who knows how to do it.
mm,
Do it like you are the only one who knows how to do it. That way, you are always on top of your matters all the time. There's no time. It's like everybody is a parent. It's like parenting. Parenting is a hard job. It's a very hard job. We know that, right? But
yes.
it's also easy if you have a mindset and determination to
Mm,
succeed as a parent. You
mm,
have to. Some parents just parent, they do their parenting just as the time goes. Okay, money, go and watch play to go and do this. No, parenting is a choice,
mm,
a choice to plan how your children, what your children become, what they turn out to be. It is not something you will live out for maybe luck or as God wishes. Yeah, God is the author of everything, but then God gave you the power to be in charge. So to exceed in your, you have to be in charge. Don't leave it for your even your assistants. Sometimes my
mm,
assistant will come into my office and say, "Sir, I mean, are you not ready to go home?" I say, "What time it is? 6 o'clock?" "No, don't worry. I say about 45 minutes to work."
mm.
So just do you go extra mile. That's it. Go extra mile. Do it a little bit more than what is expected required of you. Then you will be on top of your career for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. All right. So another question right here about turning barriers to bridges. Do stepping higher. Okay. About turning barriers to bridges to stepping higher. Okay. Does having right mindset eradicate your challenge or barriers? What are the things what are the things needed to explore okay, so I think the person put about three questions in one
Okay.
place. So I'll let you take any one of it of your choice.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we
I
can
know, I know. I kind of have kind of a small idea that does a mindset, positive mindset,
mhm.
eradicate barriers.
Yeah.
And then what is the second part?
So and then the next one is what are the things needed to explore in Canada? Okay. Okay.
Okay,
I think
okay.
mhm.
Career wise, or because
Career wise, I
when we
believe
say exploit,
I think
okay,
career wise. Yeah.
okay. Now let's take the first part of the question. Is does your mindset eradicate challenges or barrier? I won't say it eradicate, but it's the first steps. A positive mindset is the first step to counter any barrier, but it will not eradicate it totally. It will only minimize it so that you don't develop into anxiety, depression, and all that. But after a positive mindset, you have to go into action. You have to do something.
Mm,
You have to do something differently from what you are doing before. Okay? So if you have a positive mindset, in any challenge or barrier that you are facing, particular maybe a career or anything, okay, so you sit down and say, okay, good. So what is it I'm doing? What is it I can do differently to get a different result? Because it doesn't make sense doing the same thing all over and over again. Even with your
absolutely.
positive mindset, and you're still doing something the same thing, you can get a different outcome. No,
Exactly.
you're still going
Yeah.
to continue to get the same outcome, even though you are not slaughtered, you are not killed by it because of
Mm,
a positive mindset. But you got to do something differently. A different approach is needed
mm.
for you to totally eradicate any barrier or to overcome it, that barrier or challenge. challenges. So the second part of the question is, what can you do to exploit? That question is broad. It depends on individuals. Like for me, I came in as an accountant. Now I'm a legal practitioner. I did something to transform my life, to
Mhm.
change my because accounting job before many years ago, accounting job is hot cake in Canada.
Mhm.
Now it's not.
Mhm.
Software is everywhere. You put something in
Yes.
your computer, it get boom, you got your answer.
Mhm. Mhm.
So now
Mhm.
AI is even changing the whole environment now. So you have to adapt yourself to the society and what the society needs, and then you can change. Of course, anybody can have second, third, even third career. So you can change your career if the career you are in now is not working for you. Go ahead and change it. Become somebody else. Become something else.
Wow.
Becomes invaluable. That is what be valuable. So
Mm.
what value do you have that people will need to come to you?
Mm.
So that is what you'll be thinking.
Mm.
For example, Apple. Apple is one of the best. I would say one of the best phone maker in because people go back to them because they have value in some of their products, and people go back again and again to them. So what do you have
Mm.
that corporation can hire you, that people can come to you, people can see you? You have to be valuable. What value? Do you have value to sell? That's the
Wow.
question you ask yourself.
Wow. Thank
People will
you.
not go to you if you don't have nothing to do. If they don't have anything to gain from you, why would they? Why will I come to you?
That's
If I'm not
true.
to gain anything from you, why should I come?
That's true. Wow.
So you have to have value.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so our time is running pretty fast. So we're gonna be taking about two more questions. So there's one here that says, "What is the necessity? Okay, what are the necessity or and the right process to come into Canada?"
Yeah,
So
well, unfortunately, the right process. Well, of course, there is a legal process all over. You can come as a student, you can come as a visitor, you can come as worker, you can also come as a permanent resident. All those avenues I mentioned have legal avenues to do, to use to be able to come to Canada. So, if you come to Canada, what is your plan? Are you coming to stay permanently? Now, before about a year ago, before, if you come to this country as a visitor, you can sit down here, you can refuse to go back and translate to be a worker, or even translate to be a permanent resident. But now it's not, you can't do it anymore. The rule has changed. So if
mm,
if you come as a student here, of course you can be a worker after your study, then you can become a permanent resident with the right program. There's a lot of program out there, so you just have to talk to the right person, to the right lawyer, or to right consultants, immigration specialist, who can help you get the right information out there, and then you can use it. Okay, there is still legal. Fortunately, immigration is changing a little bit. But a year ago, it was in a better place. Now it's in a good place. Kani,
that's
our prime minister, unfortunately, is not an immigration guy like our former Justin Trudeau. So he's a guy who is good on economy, but immigration. So things are changing a little bit downward trajectory. But we believe it will be better sooner or later. But it is good to explore legal ways to come to Canada than illegal way, I would say.
wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Honestly, I still have so many questions, but unfortunately, oh my goodness. Our time is so fast spent that, oh my god. Okay, so that's gonna be enough from the audience, and then we're gonna take one more question from me, and then we're gonna be coming to an end of the show. It's been a very wonderful time. I've been thinking maybe probably someday somehow we're gonna find a way to make this longer, because I don't know because We just need to learn more, and the time is not enough.
Yeah, no, time is always our enemy, right? So,
I All right. So, one question that I want to ask you, back to me. One question that I want to ask you is this: if you're to go back and speak to your younger self, you know,
but
as an
my younger self,
your younger self, yeah, your
okay,
younger immigrant self. So,
okay,
what would you say? What do you think you could you would change, or do you like what would you say to yourself?
yeah, yeah. Well, one thing I will not do, or I will say to myself, is that don't be too impulsive.
Wow.
That's
Okay.
one thing I will say to myself, because the thing that got me into trouble was that I was a little bit impulsive. So I
Mm,
make a decision that later came back to haunt me.
mm,
So in this part of the world, you can't be impulsive. Everything have to be deliberate.
mm,
So if I have to say to my younger self, I say, I used to tell my boys, my children, I said, it's easy to make a decision.
mm.
Anybody can decide what to do. But the greatest challenge is the consequence of your decision. Are you able to take the consequence of your decision? So
Wow.
because any decision make on impulsive scenario, and you didn't think it through, you didn't seek the right advice, then when the consequence comes, you have to bear it. One of my clients, I see this every day, is going through that right now as we speak.
Mm.
As we
And
speak.
and I believe it
So,
will be very easy for you to advise.
of course, I said, look, don't be agitated. Don't kill yourself over it. You
Mm,
have to live with that decision, because you make that decision to do what you did.
mm,
You see, so to younger people, I would say, please, because younger people are prone to doing things impulsively, right?
mm-hmm,
Don't give in to impulsive decision,
mm.
because the consequences is not too good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I would
Wow.
say to myself, don't be too impulsive,
Wow. That's
because I don't,
that's
I don't want to make the same mistake again. You know.
wow.
So
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you.
thank you.
That's very, very deep because, just like you said, sometimes, you just make decisions and that's it. And when the result come, it could be bad, it could be good. Sometimes, you're even supposed to make right decision for yourself and you don't make that decision and the consequence comes after for the result of that decision that you didn't make or for the ones that you've taken. So wow, that thank you for sharing that. Thank you. That's quite
Thank you.
inspiring. All right. So wow, wow, wow. So we're gonna be coming to an end of the show this evening, and hopefully someday somehow we can grab you back here, and then you finish our question.
I wish you good luck. Maybe I should tell your audience that I call you around two
No,
hours
we keep
before
we
to
keep
this
that
show.
personal. We keep that personal.
So yeah, it's yeah. I would like to be helpful and to the society, to give back to society anytime I'm called upon. Depending that it is good time wise for me, because this is a very busy time in my office. Very very busy time.
And I want to take the time to just say a very big thank you to you. Like I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate you being here with us. And I believe each and every one I've learned one thing or the other from you, because I personally, myself as a host, I've been able to pick one or two things home tonight. So I just want to say, like, thank you so much for all that you've shared with us. And, I would say congratulations on your journey. It's quite inspiring.
Yeah, it is.
It's quite inspiring. So thank you for all that you share.
Thank
So
you for having me.
you're very welcome. You're very welcome. So as we're rounding up right now, I'm just gonna let you quickly say a word to my audience, a word of inspiration to my audience.
Yes. What I like to say is not that I would say not that deep. It's very simple. If you are an immigrant in this country, whether temporary resident or permanent resident, one thing you need, we all need, is God. We need to be closer to God than anything in our lives. That is one. Two, you need to forget about yourself and help others. It is in helping others that your own problem is being taken care of. So pay, I'm not saying to forget about yourself, you can't do that, but pay attention to others people's feelings, other people's hurting, who's hurting,
Hmm.
so that as you are helping them, God is taking care of your own problem. That's what I would say is the best way to help each other navigate the challenges of immigrating to a foreign land.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. All right, everyone. Okay. So, oh my goodness, what what an amazing show tonight. I just wanna say thank you to each and every one of you for being on the show. My one and only amazing fans out there. And I hope, each and every one of you, there's something that you've taken home tonight, because the story was quite inspiring. And if you were not here from the beginning, you can always go back at your leisure time and just go back and watch the video. You're gonna find something that you're gonna hang on to, that you're gonna hold on to, and that can make a very impactful and meaningful meaning in your life. So I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us tonight. You guys are amazing. And as we go, I just want to tell you that whatever you're doing, please, no matter how hard, no matter what the challenge is, no matter how difficult it is, please don't give up. The core of his story is the fact that he never gave up. Even when everything was turning back at him, he didn't give up. So I'm encouraging each and every one of you out there, don't give up on whatever situation, whatever thing that you're going through right now. Don't give up. Just hold on and know that you're going to get through. You're going to pass through, because the positive time is coming. You are closer than you think. And just find different ideas, different strategies that you can approach those situations that you're in or that you're going through right now. And I know that you're going to come out great. And I can't wait to see each and every one of you at the very top. All right. So thank you, everyone. Please, please, please don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share with your loved ones, your friends and family. Share with them, let them be part of it, because you never know who is going through one thing or the other. That you sharing this with them can actually impact their life positively. So please share the video, like it, click on the notification button, and you're gonna be getting every wonderful episode that is coming out on the Speaker Show. You are gonna be getting it. So thank you, each and every one of you. And I remain your host, your one and only Niniola Fatai. So thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for being here. And I wish each and every one of you a very wonderful and lovely evening. Bye for now. See you next week.